Smith and Nelson in the morning on 94.9 KISS FM.
Nelson in the morning. It's Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM. A high near 60 for our day. Missoula expected to be right there at 60. Warmest day of the week, by the way. Kind of dip a little bit as we get going, starting tomorrow.
Man.
But we'll take it for the day.
We flirted with warm weather for 2 weeks there, and then suddenly it just got cold again.
Compared to Saturday, where it pretty much just snowed most of the day.
Yeah.
I think we'll take 60 and dry for the day.
For sure.
Although I guess there is a chance of some showers throughout the day. Light chance, though. And
right.
Possibly won't see any until the later part of the night. So let's hope. All right, Smith and Nelson in the morning. It's a Monday. Always recapping on your Mondays with the weekend that was.
Yes, indeed. And for me, it was a pretty chill weekend. My girlfriend and I had been planning to do a sort of day trip maybe. We weren't really sure where. Maybe we'd go to Hot Springs or something like that. But we were kind of figuring that out throughout the week. And then on Thursday, we found out she actually had to work on Saturday. And that was the day that we were planning to, do our day trip and stuff. So that kind of put a damper on things. At least for her, because for me, I was like, well, that is a bummer. That's a bummer that we can't do the day trip, and it's a bummer you have to go to work. But that means I get the house to myself for most of the day Saturday, so I could sleep in, I could watch a couple of movies, and do all that. So I had a pretty decent time on Saturday.
There you go. All right, yeah.
Pretty good.
Good for you, bummer for her.
Exactly. Stay at home, relaxing thing, and watched a couple of movies. And then when she finally got back from work, hung out with her for a bit. We had dinner, and then we actually made some Easter eggs. The coloring thing and all that kind of stuff, and then went to go see Holes at the Roxy, the Shia LaBeouf movie from 2003, which I watched a million times as a kid. Hadn't seen in 15 years. Really weird movie, but it's a lot of fun. It was sold out at the Roxy. It was a packed crowd. So we did that, and then Sunday was of course Easter. We did go to Easter brunch. Which ended up being a little bit of work because we woke up a little bit too late, and we kind of had the idea to go to brunch a little bit too late. We didn't make a reservation anywhere or anything, which is a pretty rookie mistake on Easter.
Because everybody else has the idea that we'll go to brunch.
Exactly, yeah. So
everybody thinks we'll go to brunch. We didn't make a reservation. You can probably squeeze one more in.
Yeah, it can't be that.
Then you show up and everybody wants
Everyone's at church. What are they doing? So we went to Montana Club for Easter brunch and ended up having to wait about 40 minutes. And we woke up at 10. Got there at 11-ish, waited 40 minutes, so it was 12. It was 1 o'clock by the time we actually started eating, was basically what it was. But still, it was a good time.
There you go.
Brunch.
Brunch was good, huh?
Brunch was a success. So, yeah, we had a good time. So that was kind of our Easter, which, I talked to my family and stuff, too, which they were all meeting up together out in New York for Easter and stuff like that.
Got to do the FaceTime.
Exactly, yeah. So got to talk to them for a little bit as well. But otherwise, that was pretty much it. Pretty chill weekend, I think, for me.
All right. We started off on Friday, took the girls to go see Sonic 2.
Ah, nice.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd say it was worth a watch. Got some, good adult stuff slipped in there. Just like the first one did too.
Yeah.
But I feel like they opened it up a little bit for Jim Carrey to have a little more of the spotlight on him this time.
Do more of his thing?
Yeah, just kind of included some one-liners and kind of some stuff. Not over the top, that's too much Jim Carrey. But just enough to where it's he has more of a I think a role where you're kind of this is
why you catch
Jim Carrey. Yeah, exactly. It was pretty good, and it seems like I won't give you any spoiler alerts. They may not be done with Sonic.
Sure, they may make a Sonic 3. Is what you're saying.
Exactly. We did some egg hunt fun on Saturday. Actually, 2 different egg hunts. My daughters were jacked, of course, all Friday about egg hunts for the weekend, and Easter, and they were up and at it early on Saturday. We ended up going to an egg hunt through the Moms Club that my wife is kind of a member in. They do different outings and stuff throughout the year, and this is one of the things they put together every year. So we did the egg hunt there. Got to do the egg hunt, play on the playground, kind of see a couple friends and stuff. Then we went to another one here in town, the Egg Extravaganza.
Nice.
Which was over at Christian Life Center, the church there. They just opened it up for the community.
They must have been so happy they thought of Egg Extravaganza before anybody else. Perfect name.
I hope they trademarked that. But they had promotions for a helicopter going to drop eggs. I mean, they had bouncy houses and food trucks. There was different games for the kids and face painting and all kinds of fun stuff.
When you say the helicopter's going to drop eggs, they're just going to drop it from the helicopter? Because the eggs are going to break.
Well, you're not looking for real eggs.
Okay,
looking for plastic eggs with. You're looking for plastic eggs with candy and prizes and goodies and toys. Yes. But the snow started and stuff, and then they eventually had to scrap those plans.
Oh, really?
Because of the weather and stuff.
Bummer.
But it was cold. It was snowing. Luckily, a lot of the stuff was indoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of cold. They did have the food truck, so the Wild Weenie was there. So I scored myself a jalapeno cheddar dog, which is always a score. But then yesterday, woke up, Easter Bunny, baskets and such, and then we kind of had the conversation on Saturday. What are we going to do for food on Easter?
Right.
I was like, okay, I got to get to the store, and this dish you got to prep it the night before so we can cook. Okay, great. Never made it to the store. Yesterday, I was like, we blew the chance to have this, and this, right? My wife's like, oh yeah, that's long gone.
Is the Wild Weenie around anywhere?
That's right. So we did as the traditions passed down through generations do. We went to Outback for Easter.
Nice.
And that was a wrap.
Hey, there you go.
All right, little recap of the weekend as we do on Mondays. The weekend that was with Smith and Nelson. It's KYSS.
Vacations, staycations, more summer fun. What will you do when you win cash?
Oh, my God.
Listen for the double dollars code words at 20 past the hour weekdays between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Daily winners get $2,000. Keep it all or give $1,000 to a friend because sharing is caring. Woo! Get up to $10,000 cash. Open our app for full rules and info. Brought to you by the Advocates Injury Attorneys. You deserve an advocate. This is what's newsy and noteworthy with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KYSS FM.
Yes, it is what's newsy and noteworthy for your morning, and this is a pretty wild story. A guy in Kentucky in 2019 asked his employer not to celebrate his birthday because he said he has an anxiety disorder. It would trigger a panic attack. The company ignored him, threw him a party for him over lunchtime anyway. He got upset. He did have a panic attack, left to have lunch in his car. The higher-ups confronted him about his reaction. He freaked out again, and a few days later, they fired him. So he sued the company, and now a jury has just awarded him $450,000. $150,000 for lost pay, $300,000 for emotional distress. Decided that he suffered an adverse employment action because of his anxiety disability. So $450,000, all because he didn't want a birthday party, and the office threw him one anyway. Basically,
happy birthday indeed.
That's a pretty good birthday present right there.
I mean, when you go and say it's because of medical reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And the company does it anyway, and then they fire you over it too, a couple days later. Yeah.
How about this? There's a teenager in Ohio going viral. He brought a toaster to school in his backpack so he could toast his Pop-Tarts at lunch. And then his mom jumped online, tweeted a picture, and said, it's like my son got in a little bit of trouble today. She posted a picture of him, the Pop-Tarts, and the toaster. She said, apparently my kid got in trouble for packing our toaster in his backpack.
Man.
Pulled it out at lunch to make Pop-Tarts for the class. Then later she said, all right, I got some more info on the incident. Took his backpack, found a spot by an outlet in the lunchroom, pulled out the toaster, set it on the seat next to him, proceeded to toast Pop-Tarts and pass them around. We only had enough at home for his table, and he didn't charge anybody. Then she said, honestly, that toaster's on its last legs. I'm not even sure how it survived the trip.
Right.
But apparently he didn't get in too much trouble. Teacher just said, let's not make a habit out of this. Trying to steer him in the other direction,
I don't know.
But
This kid sounds like a hero to me. This sounds great.
Toaster, I mean, hey, toaster guy. Yeah. Someone bringing a toaster?
He's going to be the toaster guy from now on in school.
Can you toast my sandwich?
There's a new record holder for the oldest Chihuahua in the world, and it's Toby Keith. No, not that Toby Keith.
Oh, he's not a Chihuahua?
He's not a Chihuahua, no.
Had me for going for a second.
There is a Chihuahua named Toby Keith, and it just set the record on March 16th to become the oldest Chihuahua in the world, 21 years old and 66 days. Average lifespan for Chihuahua, 12 to 18 years, so he's blown way past that, which is pretty wild, yeah.
21, that's incredible.
Yeah, congrats to Toby Keith on his new record.
Scammers, they'll stop at nothing. Even Easter yesterday, the big thing going around that scam artists were using Easter to try to get people's personal and financial information.
Yeah.
Pretending to be representatives for Cadbury chocolate. Emails that were going out saying people could make $600 a week if they wrapped their car in purple and had the Cadbury chocolate logo on it. The only kicker was, if you were interested enough, you clicked on it to get some details, you had to buy the wrap before you could get paid yourself.
Huh.
So you had to pay them so they could wrap your car. And then, of course, once you paid them, take your money and away they go.
Of course, yes.
They'd get people's personal information to pay for the rap that didn't exist. Of course, the warnings are going out.
Right.
Delete the email immediately.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Easter, this is a pretty wild story. A Easter bunny in Austin, Texas, accidentally handed out condoms and Easter eggs the other day at an elementary school. Apparently what happened is there was a parent in an Easter bunny costume that worked as a pharmacist and had done an Easter-themed safe-sex clinic earlier in the day. She was still in costume when she went to pick up her second grader. All the kids were like, it's the Easter bunny's here. They mobbed her. So she called her husband to bring some eggs to hand out. He accidentally grabbed the wrong eggs that were left over from the clinic, so it sounds like she handed those out for a while without realizing it. The school sent a letter to parents to make sure they knew we had nothing to do with it.
That story seems like there's a lot of pieces in it.
Yes.
Can you grab the basket of eggs and be here in 20 minutes?
Right.
Oh, the kids are all mobbing me right now. It's got a fun one here. Wedding crashers going viral. A couple in Arizona. They got married. Later discovered wedding crashers, and they're looking through some of their pictures. None of the family knew the people or anything.
Yeah.
So they posted on Facebook saying, hey, look at these pictures. These people crashed our wedding. What's going on?
Right.
Apparently they saw the pictures, and one lady wrote, my husband wanted to dance with me, and once we realized it was a wedding, we just kind of smiled for the camera and finished our dance, and then we left. It was just it was a fun, good-looking time. We just decided we had to stop in.
Yeah, there
basically,
you go.
they saw just kind of a function, people dancing and music playing, and they're like, "Oh, let's have a dance."
Yeah.
Then they realized, "Oh boy, this is a wedding.
Whoops.
Let's get out of here." All right, Newsy and Noteworthy for your morning. It's KYSS.
When it's country in Hot Springs, it's Montana's country leader, 94.9 KYSS FM.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KYSS FM. Smith and Nelson doing it on your Monday. Thank you for hanging with us. Don't forget, you can go back and listen anytime. Smith and Nelson on demand from your KYSS FM mobile app. All right, part of the morning here brought to us by Taco Time.
That's right. Try the fish taco at Taco Time with the crispy white fish, shredded cheddar, cabbage and salsa fresca, and creamy cilantro lime sauce. Available at Taco Time in North Reserve.
All right, KYSS FM mobile app and KYSSFM.com. You will find the story there about the return of the Montana Brewers Fall Rendezvous.
Yes, I am excited about this. The Montana Brewers Fall Rendezvous annual brew fest that does it kind of throughout Montana, throughout the year. They have like a few different fall rendezvous with different brewing companies and stuff throughout Montana. Missoula, always the last stop, but the last 2 years, that has not been able to happen.
One of many events that had 2020 and 2021 events wiped out.
Exactly. So the Montana Brewers Fall Rendezvous is set to make a comeback in 2022. They're planning to happen in October, and it's going to be over at KYSS Park, which is probably a good indication that, like, hey, construction at KYSS Park probably be pretty much done by then.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Right?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed on that one.
Never know with construction.
That's true, yeah, but they're planning to do it. KYSS Park, Saturday, October 1st from 3 to 8. And one of my favorite things about this one is I've been to the Fall Rendezvous before. This is an unlimited samples beer fest.
So you pay to get in, and then you get unlimited?
You pay to get in. You basically pay for the glass, and then, it's unlimited samples. And it's not that expensive either. Pre-sale tickets are $35 for VIP or $25 for general admission. And then it's going to go a little bit further kind of throughout. But advanced tickets are $40, and then tickets on the day of the event, $45 for VIP, $35 for general admission. So,
So you get pre-sale, basically, you're getting them $10 cheaper.
Yes. Then you buy them in advance before the actual day. It's, still,
$5 cheaper.
$5 cheaper. And
like,
then, and then actual day of, if you want to get the day of, that's $45 or $35. But, and then the VIP gets you like an extra hour, like ahead of time. Like you get to sample everything before anybody else gets there and all that kind of cool stuff.
One of those cases, though, why would you want to pay $10 more for your ticket when you can get it?
Exactly.
Get it early.
Yeah, definitely. So, unlimited samples of craft beer. They'll also have food vendors, live music from Hardwood Heart, a collectible glass you can take with you wherever you go from now until the end of time. And it's also the last one of the season. So I think it's going to be an extra special one, especially since they haven't been in Missoula in a couple of years.
So far, I hear nothing negative.
Yeah, it's a good time.
All that sounds good.
Yeah, I was
Collector's glass, unlimited samples, food trucks, music.
I was at the one in 2019. That was the last one they did, and it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to go back. Like I don't think I've been to a beer fest since COVID, except for the socially distanced beer fest that happened at KYSS Park, in Ogren Park in 2020. They did one over there, and that was fun, but it was different.
Different, yeah.
Different. I don't think I've been to
everything has been different.
Exactly, yeah. I haven't been to a full-on beer fest since before the pandemic, so it'd be good to get back to it for sure.
All right, Montana Brewers Fall Rendezvous, the big return. We've got details, got the link for tickets, everything you need to know with your KISS FM mobile app.
The morning on 94.9 KISS FM. Smith & Nelson's Odds and Ends on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is. Some odds and ends for your morning. And the Cleveland Guardians played their first home game ever the other day. And Tom Hanks threw out the first pitch, the ceremonial first pitch of the Guardians home opener. And brought out a special guest, too. Wilson from Castaway was there.
I saw the picture. I didn't actually see the video. I just saw like a still image of him holding it like he's about to throw it.
Yes, yeah. He didn't actually throw Wilson, which is unfortunate. I think that would have been great. No, he placed Wilson's volleyball down to the pitcher's mound, and they kind of did a bit. It looked like it was like remote controlled, where it kept like rolling away. He would chase after it. It would come back. That was pretty good. And yeah, Tom Hanks, of course, been a fan of Cleveland baseball since 1977. He actually narrated their name change announcement last summer.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so I think that's why Tom Hanks was the one doing the first pitch this time around.
It's kind of an interesting, fun story here. This is a New Hampshire woman accidentally threw out 4 diamond rings. She celebrates every wedding anniversary. She puts on her 25th wedding anniversary band, her regular wedding band, her engagement ring, and her 5th anniversary ring. Then she had them on, just kind of doing her thing, put them on a paper towel near the sink, and then tossed that into the garbage.
Oh, no!
And then realized, called the Public Works Department, asked for help finding the rings. 2 city workers ended up finding them somehow.
That's incredible.
And returned the rings to the woman. But,
that's good.
Whoa. Just had a panic attack.
I guess so, yeah. That's crazy. A guy in the UK was messing around with a new laser pointer that he bought last November, and he thought it'd be funny to point it at a helicopter flying above, of course.
There's like 2 rules when you get a laser pointer. Don't shine it in your own eye.
Yes.
And don't point it at any aircraft in the sky.
Yep. It turns out the helicopter he shined it on was a police helicopter that was trying to help find a missing person, so the crew noticed the light beam, and they were distracted enough they flagged the home it was coming from. Some officers went to investigate. The guy admitted to flashing the laser pointer, said he didn't know it was dangerous or a crime. Then the cops noticed there was a lot of drugs in his house, a lot of paraphernalia there, and there was a lot of evidence that he was actually a dealer, not just a user, and a lot of incriminating messages and photos. So he pleaded guilty to drug trafficking, drug possession, was sentenced to juvenile detention for a little over 2 years.
Not only that, but when you're going to shine it at helicopters,
yep,
your odds aren't good. It's either going to be like a hospital helicopter or a police helicopter.
That's usually the case, yeah. Unless you like live near the Grand Canyon and there's a lot of tourists going around.
Exactly. Oh, jeez. This is crazy stories. 53-year-old woman in Massachusetts recently drove over 8 headstones at a local cemetery. The woman has a learner's permit, practicing her driving with a relative, lost control of the car where it crashed and ran over 8 headstones. Police are determining if charges are warranted for it. No, it says the woman did not say why she was just now learning to drive at age 53. You got to
start sometime.
Kind of an interesting one.
That's pretty wild. Of course, we all remember Psy, Gangnam Style.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Psy released Gangnam Style 10 years ago in 2012.
It's been that long.
It has been that long. And if you believe in destiny, the next big hit might be around the corner. Psy has a new album called Psy 9th that comes out next week on the 29th. And Psy recently released a video from 2013 where he predicted he's dropping his next big song in 2022. He said, I know a lot of you have high expectations for my next hit song. To be honest, I produced Champion in 2002. Took me 10 years to produce a song that was more sensational with Gangnam Style. So by that metric, 2022 is the time.
Okay.
So we could be getting a new big hit Psy song.
That's an interesting way to approach your career, hoping that every 10 years you'll have a big one.
Exactly, yeah.
On this date, 1955, Albert Einstein died at age 76. In 1956, on this day, the first walk and don't walk sign for the crosswalk was installed.
Wow.
On this date in 2012 is the day that Dick Clark passed away. The birthdays for your day. About Conan O'Brien's 59 today.
That's
weird?
wild.
It's weird to think of Conan O'Brien as being 60 years old.
That is so weird. He was like the young upstart late night guy when he first started, and now, he's almost 60.
Rick Moranis is 69 today. But James Woods, 75.
That's wild.
It's crazy to think of James Woods being on the way to 80.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Odds and ends for the morning. It's KISS.
This spring, you get double dollars when you win cash. You've heard of seeing double, right?
Yes.
Well, we want you to hear double. Team up with a friend to make sure you get all the code words entered on our app to increase your chances of winning.
Just keep it right here.
Then when you win cash, it's $1,000 for you and $1,000 for your friend. Catch the code words at 20 past the hour. Workdays from 8 to 5. Open our app for full rules and info. Brought to you by
The Advocates Injury Attorneys. You deserve an advocate.
True Green's
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KYSS FM. Smith and Nelson in the morning. I'd say there's no better way to follow up Easter Sunday than a big old delicious Cookie Monday.
Absolutely. What better way to follow up the day where you're eating a bunch of chocolate and candy and nonstop, all that kind of sugar and sweets, and then have
cookies
more cookies
on top of it?
and then more cookies.
Me?
Yeah,
Come on now.
Yes.
It is Monday. That means brand new flavors with Crumble cookies. Of course, we team up with Crumble for our free Cookie Friday delivery every week. And also every week, we get to chat with Heather from Crumble Cookies.
That's
Good morning,
right.
Heather.
Good morning, guys. I think you just came up with a new holiday.
That'd be
Cookie Monday.
Be
Cookie
great.
Monday, yeah.
Fantastic, yes.
Cookie Monday.
If we can work in a day off with it.
Yeah, a day off work and school so we can gorge on cookies. That's pretty good.
I'm all in.
I don't know. Rumor has it they're looking at 4-day work weeks. Who knows? Maybe Cookie Monday will become a paid holiday.
Could
could be.
I could go for that as well.
Yeah.
All right, brand new flavors for the week. Also, 2 new flavors.
Yeah, 2 never before had cookies in the rotation this week.
Never before seen cookies, so we'll save those 2 for last. Let's start off with the red velvet white chip. So this is just your favorite red velvet dark cookie loaded with ooey gooey white chocolate chip.
Anytime you take red velvet and apply it to anything else, it's just always good.
Yeah, just always a good
It
time.
doesn't matter if it's ice cream, cupcakes, cookies here with Crumble. Just ups the game.
It sure does. It just makes you feel fancy when you say red velvet.
That's true. That's true.
also
It does.
true.
Yeah.
It's an upper class cookie.
Velvet. Anytime you slip velvet into the conversation, people are like, "Man, you're classy."
Man, you're classy. Who doesn't love velvet? And then we have our snickerdoodle. So this is just a yum classic sweet vanilla sugar cookie. We coat it in cinnamon sugar, gives a nice little crispy crust on the outside. So delicious.
Always makes me think of Christmas time because that's when my wife will make the snickerdoodle cookies.
Right,
Always
yeah.
kind of that time of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Or she goes to Crumble and pretends that she makes the snickerdoodle cookie.
I'm all right with either.
yeah.
I'm all right with either one.
You'll take it either way.
All right,
and
so
then
new cookies then. 2 new flavors. I love that half of
2 new flavors.
Yeah.
Super excited about these. So the first one is, we've named it Caramel Cake. It's a flugger. It's a fluffy sugar. It's flugger. That sounds so delicious. A fluffy sugar cookie, and we smother it with this sweet, smooth caramel glaze. It is good.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it is really terrific. I mean, you got that smooth caramel on top, and it's just enough caramel that doesn't overpower the cookie. It's really delicious.
It sounds good, and then when you have it, you're like, "Yep, that's confirmed."
Yep.
That was pretty good.
My taste buds have confirmed.
Yep.
Well, hopefully they'll like these 2. It's the Boston cream pie.
Yeah.
So this is. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this is my favorite cookie of the week. Is what I was gonna say.
Yum. It is so good. So it's New England-inspired cookie topped with vanilla pastry cream and then a rich chocolate ganache on top. I love our little pie cookies. They're so fun.
I actually said that to Mike, like when we were kind of cutting up some cookies into
Yeah.
pieces here, and I said I love when they do pie cookies. They're always so good.
Yeah, and they're always perfect representations of the actual pie, just a tiny version of it.
Just a tiny version of it. Delicious. I
Yes.
love them too.
And it ties
But guys,
in with
have
the Boston Marathon today.
Oh, there you is it the Boston?
Today,
Look at that.
Today's the Boston Marathon. So.
Wow.
Some days you could just smack me upside the head with that pink box.
Good
And I
product
go,
placement.
oh, there's a connection with our world. I just get too busy making cookies. I don't see that there's a connection with the world.
The only reason I knew that is when I was coming in this morning, I heard on the news them talking about the marathon and conditions and stuff, and so when we saw that today, I said, "Is today the marathon?" I thought it might be, and we looked it up, and it was. So I thought, oh, well, that's the tie-in right there.
There it is.
Well, and what's funny is you always come up with the connections before I do. I feel so bad every Monday. I'm like, I hang up, and I'm like, oh, you're so dumb.
That's funny. That's great.
So I also have something, I don't know if you guys saw, but the CEO of our company came out this last weekend, and they are going to retire from the weekly rotation, our pink sugar cookies.
Oh, wow. So the pink sugar's
So
out?
it's not for good. It's not retired completely, but it won't be every single week.
So they're Brett Favre it.
Yeah. So they just say we have so many delicious flavors, it's hard to get them all in a rotation. And so pink sugar will just go in the rotation with, like, our flavors.
Okay.
But it won't be a weekly staple anymore.
So now we're going to have 5 rotating cookies every week?
I don't know what's going to happen next week.
Interesting.
Oh, actually, is it next week or is it May? No, the 23rd is the last day. So this is the last week that it's going to be in the rotation for a while, and then it's just up for grabs like with the others. So if pink sugar is your cookie, you come in, you get them, you order them, you whatever. It'll be it for a little bit.
All right.
You can't rely on it coming back next week or in 2 weeks.
There's going to be like one pink sugar cookie maniac who like stocks up on like 200 cookies and freezes them just to have them.
Well, I actually do have a few of those, so I'm just it's going out there to you. Come in,
I didn't
get
realize
them.
we were breaking news here this morning.
That's pretty wild.
Good stuff.
Yep, pretty wild. I was shocked too. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
All right, flavors of the week: the red velvet white chip. You got the snickerdoodle, a couple brand new flavors with the Boston cream pie, the caramel cake. You got the classic pink sugar and the milk chocolate chip this week. That's a good assortment.
Yes, it is.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
All right, Heather, we'll talk to you next Monday. Appreciate the rundown. There you go. Crumble and their flavors of the week.
Yes, indeed.
Crumble Cream is their delicious ice cream. They've got brownie fudge, cookie dough crunch, and more. They do catering. They do delivery. Stop and get gift cards. Crumble Cookies on North Reserve. And, of course, make sure you just take a couple moments and get entered online for Free Cookie Friday.
Exactly. Go to the Win Stuff page, kissfm.com, or your free Kiss FM app for your chance to win a big party box from Crumble Cookies.
Nelson, 94.9 KISS FM. It's Monday. If that's not bad enough for you, it's also tax day.
Oh, yes, it is.
There you go.
The final day to get your taxes in before the IRS starts coming after you, I guess.
Knocking on your door.
Pretty much, yeah, which I've done mine already. You've done yours. We're all set on the tax front.
I have paid my share.
Yes. Yeah, you had to pay taxes this year. That's rough.
Somehow with all the payments they were handing out, and child credits and this and that, and just this is the first year forever that I've had to pay.
Man, that's a bummer.
Boo.
That is a bummer. Americans spend 6.1 billion hours doing taxes every year.
Oh my gosh.
That's a total, not just like every single person. Just a heads up on that one.
Yes.
It feels like that, but 6.1 billion hours total spent doing taxes. 90% of tax returns done electronically these days too. Which
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's all done online, which I do mine online. I mean almost 60 people do it on their own too. They just e-file it and prepare it themselves.
60%.
Yes, 60%.
More than 60 people e-file.
60% of people. Yes, exactly. Over the past 20 years, there have been an average of 420 annual changes to the tax code. So just always constantly changing and rotating.
That is a lot of changes.
That's too many changes.
As a per year average.
Yeah, that's a lot to keep up with.
Wow.
Yeah, there are 4 million words in the tax code, which is twice the amount of all the Game of Thrones books combined.
Oh my gosh.
So just for perspective on how complicated that is, the tax code is twice as complicated as the entire Game of Thrones series. As of April 1st, 71% of Americans had already filed their taxes.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's most of the country.
It's actually higher than I would think it would be.
Yeah, definitely. 18% still had to do it. 11% said they didn't have to file, which I think you do have to file your taxes at some point. I'm just not sure when. For some people, I know some people get extensions and things like that. And if you get a refund, what do people do with the money? One poll says 27% of Americans use it to pay off debt, 24% save it, 13% treat themselves, 11% use it just buy everyday stuff, and 10% use it to cover a big purchase they really need, like a car repair or something like that. 7% of Americans claim they enjoy filing their taxes.
That's just...
That goes under the psychopath.
The weirdos of the world.
The weirdos of the world, that category.
Wow.
But yeah, and then if you do enjoy your taxes early, you can celebrate today with an income tax cocktail. That's like a real thing. That's a thing. An income tax cocktail uses gin, sweet vermouth, dry vermouth, orange juice, and a splash of bitters. Since it's such a bittersweet day.
Oh, that's fitting.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless you're getting a bunch of money back.
Well, then it's usually a pretty happy day. Yeah, but a lot of people, it's more of a bittersweet day.
All right,
sure.
There you go. Some fun facts when it comes to tax day.
The only fun you'll have on tax day is these fun facts that we're giving you.
All right. Let's do some Nashville news for the morning. Your Music City 60 right here, 94.9 KISS FM.
Bringing the where, the what, and the who from Nashville straight to you. It's the Music City 60 on 94.9 KISS FM.
Country star Ingrid Andress has a new single, Good Person. It'll be part of her upcoming next album. In a statement, Ingrid said recently she co-wrote Good Person when she was questioning what makes someone good and what does that look like. Along with a new album in the works, Ingrid will be hitting the road with country star Keith Urban on his Speed of Now tour starting in June. Both an ACM and CMT award winner in 2022, country artist Parker McCullum has made his own version of singer John Mayer's hit Perfectly Lonely. Just last week, Parker released his cover of George Strait's Carrying Your Love With Me. Look for Perfectly Lonely on Amazon Music. And country star Michael Ray got back to his roots in Florida. The Baptist church he grew up in became the backdrop for the music video for his song Holy Water. Michael was recently on a podcast called Jesus Calling, talking about the men of faith that he looked up to, including his father and grandfather. The church Michael attended was built in the 1800s. He posted a photo on his Instagram telling why it was a special place for his new video. You can find Holy Water wherever you download music. I'm Tamma Fulton. Catch you later.
And now you're in the know with Nashville. Smith and Nelson's Music City 60, 94.9 KISS FM. Now you know newsworthy nugget of the day with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Brought to you by Farside Sign, Missoula's leading full-service sign and custom vehicle graphic shop. Farside Sign in the 2200 block of South Avenue West.
All right, nugget time. That's when we give you a fun fact for the day. We try to find a little piece of information that isn't top of mind for everyone.
Exactly, and kind of you can take this info with you and do with it what you please. But today, did you know the biggest American city without an NFL, NBA, NHL, or Major League Baseball team? Could you guess what it is?
I do not have to guess because I actually saw this. I think it was over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Is it San Diego?
No, it's not San Diego.
Oh, well, then I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, San Diego have the Padres, don't they? They have...
it doesn't have a single team?
They don't have any team.
Okay, I saw a stat that was they have like one, but then don't have another.
Gotcha,
That's what I saw. Okay.
The biggest city without...
So this doesn't have any pro teams?
No pro teams for NFL, NBA, NHL, or MLB. That is Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Austin, Texas does not have any of those, which is kind of surprising. I mean, Austin's huge. You would think maybe they would have that. But, they're followed by El Paso, Texas, Louisville, Kentucky, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Tucson, Arizona. 5 biggest cities without any major pro sports team.
So the one I saw the other day, then it was a baseball article with the opening of baseball season.
Gotcha.
And it was saying how they're the biggest one that didn't have another pro team.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go. Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
They don't even have the Padres. They don't have anybody.
Need some expansion. Somebody get Austin in the mix.
Exactly. Needs to or not. Now you know.